everybody, what is up? Welcome back to another hashtag LockBoss show and giveaway. I tell you what, here in just a few short minutes, we're going to have a few special guests on. I'm sure you saw the title, Framon Hudson Lock / HPC has some exciting news to share. So really excited to hop in and dig into what they want to talk about. But first and foremost, how is everybody doing on this Tuesday afternoon? Of course, I'm going to be drinking a Topo Chico. And so whether you're drinking a Topo Chico or your favorite beverage of choice, cheers. All right. Oh, man, I've been waiting for that here for a few minutes. You know, there's nothing better than a cold Topo, if you ask me, I tell you. All right. So, hey, before we hop into the show here and get it started, there's a few things. Number one, Julio, I need you to be on your best behavior. All right. Anytime we have guests on in particular, you know, we need good behavior going on and everything being good. So we don't want any surprises with guests. So just keep that in mind as we get going. Now, next is, I know what it is. It's something really good, which is if you're one of the over 16,000 people who have downloaded the Identikey app on how to, app that helps you identify key blanks. Today we announced, we released a major update. So go ahead, make sure you update your apps, check it out. We have a video coming this Sunday about it. So check it out, play with it, have a little bit of fun. But all right, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's hop into today's show. Now, first and foremost, let's go over the post of the week. All right, now this post comes from Nate K. Nate says, awesome price pack. I enjoy your great products and customer service. I love the videos, real world tips, and new ideas in the locksmith field. Shirts that I will wear with pride of our industry. Very cool, Nate. Hey, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the community. And thanks for sending the photo in. Really, really appreciate it. All right, next up here is the comment of the week. And this one comes from Phillips. Lock and Key says, wow, it's great to see moving a safe in action. I've used a powered hand truck before, but I haven't seen the double tier dollies. Sweet. The trailer is really cool too. I like it all. Well, very good, Phillips Lock and Key. Hey, thank you for commenting. All right, now, man, I tell you what, here we go. So it's about that time for us to have our special guests on. And today we're going to be having Phil from Framon, and we're going to have Gina and Marty from Hudson Lock. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pop them all up here on the screen. How is everybody doing today?
Wonderful.
Absolutely wonderful.
Nice. Phil, do I see, is that a, Julio, you can cut the intro music. Thank you. Is that a Topo there?
It is a Topo, and I did not realize it was around for 130 years. Joey got this for me, and it's apparently a like the throwback edition, I guess, but still tastes wonderful.
I like it. Well, hey, Phil, thanks for being here. For those, for everyone who doesn't know Phil, could you tell us what your role over at Framon is?
Well, I'm the president of Framon Manufacturing, but as with everybody that works at Framon, we have a variety of roles. So I do doors and hardware. I pretty much head up the generic code program. And just kind of manage the place, I guess. We have a great crew, but yeah, a little bit of everything, typical small business. So we do whatever needs to be done.
Very good, very good. And for the first time, we have two guests from Hudson Lock. We have Gina and Marty. Welcome to you both.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And if you wouldn't mind, could each of you share just a few brief moments about what your job or role at Hudson Lock is?
Sure. So I'll start. My name is Gina Melendez. I'm the new president and CEO of Hudson Lock. I joined the organization in September of 2023. Super excited to continue to expand my knowledge about the locksmith industry. It's a completely new industry for me. I come from aerospace and automotive. So definitely excited to be back in manufacturing and being part of a company that really contributes to such a great trade like locksmithing.
Very cool.
And I want to introduce myself. I'm Marty Jalove. I've been in the locksmith industry since the 80s. I was in distribution for a long time, moved over to HPC in manufacturing quite some time ago. Left the industry in about 2020 and then started connecting with Gina. And I've been friends with Phil for a long, long time. So I was the person who got the two of them together, made the introduction. That's why I snuck onto the show.
Very cool.
And I am drinking a tangerine.
Yeah.
Topo Chico.
I got lime.
Oh, hey, how about that? I think this is the first time. Cheers to you all. And I tell you what, I think it's the first time ever we've had 4 people drinking Topos. So
there you go.
I like it. I like it very much. So, I have to just recognize for a moment that it's not real common to be able to have multiple vendors on at the same time. So I think this is actually really cool, and hopefully it's the first of many.
Thanks again for having us.
Absolutely. So you both, Framon and Hudson, have some news to share, and I was wondering who would like to break the news.
Well, I think it would be appropriate if Marty broke the news, because
there you
he was
go.
kind of the one that put the whole thing together.
Bill,
So
you can tell I was trembling because I'm not usually this quiet this long. So yes, thank you. So like I said, I worked for HPC for many years, left in about 2020. And I was really excited when I was talking with Gina at this new control over HPC Hudson Lock. And one of the first things I did was I talked with her and I said, you've got to meet Phil from Framon. I think that the two of you together, Gina supporting HPC Hudson Lock, one of the backbone industries in the locksmith industry, one of the backbone manufacturers, I should say, and Framon, lifelong trusted name in the locksmith industry. We should get both companies together. So rather than competing on code software, let's get us together and create something absolutely spectacular as a team. So they met, and I'm going to say it first. They met, and it's like peanut butter and jelly. All right.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You took Gina off the screen. I had to say it quickly. All right.
Yes, I think Gina, she was saying that there was a storm where she was and hoping she wasn't going to lose power. So.
Oh, wow. I thought you took her off the screen so I could talk. I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting.
No, I definitely didn't take her off the screen,
right.
But she did warn us right before we went live that there was a storm and she might lose power. So, but
right. So this has been really a cool thing, and I'll let you jump in right away, Phil, and kind of talk from your end. When I was working with HPC back in, prior to 2020, we had started this conversation with me being involved in HPC and Phil at Framon about, does it make sense for us to merge? Does it make sense for us to create some type of a partnership? And it was so cool because Phil was 100% on board. How do we make this work? It's for years we've been friendly competition, and now this is the first chance, the first opportunity we get to work together, and you get two powerhouses in the industry. And I can say, because I'm still standing on the outside, so I'm going to call you guys both powerhouses in the industry. Putting everything together out there to make an outstanding program for the locksmith industry. Great. You're back, Gina. All right.
I am. I jinxed myself. And lost power. So now we're on a hotspot and not plugged in. So we should.
All right. But you're good. So yeah, we went through everything. We explained the entire program.
Excellent.
So now, we have questions in here on which one's sweet and which one's nutty on this peanut butter and jelly analogy. But, we'll let everyone use that.
I'll answer that really quick. Gina's the peanut butter. Phil is the jelly. I'm the nut. All right. So that's
okay, fair enough. Perfect. Okay, so you guys have collaborated with code software.
Yes.
Mhm.
Which means that now tell me if I'm wrong on this, or kind of like walk me down the road a little bit to make sure I completely understand. So there's always kind of maybe been some codes that CodeSource had that Genericode didn't, and maybe some codes that Genericode had that the CodeSource didn't. Am I walking on eggshells here, or is that accurate?
No.
Nope, that's completely right.
Okay, so as of now-ish, they both have all of the codes, or
So there's really only one program. I mean, one database. So we've got, so we were given all the HPC codes, which have gone into our program. So generic code really, CodeSource hadn't been updated for a long time. And so what we're doing is HPC is developing their own basically front end for generic code. It'll look a little bit different, but the functionality will be relatively the same. So if you opened up both programs and ran the same code, you'd see the same information. We're just finalizing the code source side of it right now. We just introduced version 25 generic code a couple months ago. One thing that's important before we get the ball rolling with this is that we don't lose any functionality that was in code source, and part of that is running a code max. So we're just finishing that up right now so that generic code will now be able to talk to a code max as will code source. So basically it's the same program. If you buy code source, it'll have one menu. If you buy generic code, it'll have the traditional generic code menu. Theirs does look a little bit sharper, I will admit. So Marty got the ball and Gina worked together on some nice graphics. So their menu looks a lot nicer than ours does. Ours is still pretty traditional, but yeah, we've cut a few keys through the program on the code max. We've got the auto angle feature working for Medico keys. So hopefully within a week and a half or so here, they'll be able to start a couple weeks. I don't know the exact time frame. There's some things that they're going to need to do at Hudson to make sure everything's ready to go. But yeah, we're excited to get the ball rolling and let them start distributing their program.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, PJ, I just want to jump in. This is going to be like the first step. What we're looking at is adding a lot more of those features that the old version of CodeSource had. We're going to slowly reintroduce those. And so my feeling is we're not only going to build up CodeSource, but we're also going to be building up generic code. Both programs are going to come out with a brand new introduction. They're both going to continue to get better and better and better.
Wow, yeah, that is really cool. So essentially what is happening is, for the betterment of the people who either use generic code or who use code source, like they're not going to have all the codes, right? Which is all in all, if you're a user of one or the other, it's a benefit.
Yep.
Which is really awesome, by the way. Like that to me is something that shows that like everyone is acting like that. These two companies are acting in the people who use the machine's best interest, which is really awesome, actually. Now, for everybody watching, if you have questions about this, if you're maybe a code source user or you're a generic code user, go ahead and put the questions in there. And here in just a little bit, we'll answer any questions that you might have. So I think, first of all, that's really awesome. And so is what I'm kind of hearing is that if you're used to using generic code, it's going to continue and you use it to cut keys with whatever machine you have, you'll be able to continue to do that. And you'll even have more codes at your disposal. If you have code source, you're going to now be getting all the missing codes that you have had, and you're going to be able to still cut keys on the machines that you're used to cutting with code source. Am I correct in saying that?
Yep.
That is it.
Perfect. All right. I like it. So I am curious for the code source users. A question that comes to my mind is like, what does this look like? So if someone currently uses code source, what does it look like and how would they get this upgrade or new version? Like, can someone kind of walk me through that a little bit?
Sure. Gina, do you want to explain how they're going to get it? I'll kind of explain what it looks like. So you want me to start?
Yeah, you can start.
All right. Okay. So it's going to have a different kind of interface in the beginning. So it's going to have a different look. It's really streamlined. We've taken a look at the bells and whistles that the old code source had that were more fluff than functional. All right. And we're stripping it down to the bare minimum because the most important thing is getting to the codes quickly. So we're taking a page out of Framon's book and making it very easy, quick and easy to use. That's our number one thing. And because I step on everyone's toes, I'll just keep talking until Gina jumps in. All right, is we sell through distribution. The only thing that we try to offer direct, if anything, would be a software update. But even that we sell through distribution. We're really pushing through distribution. So anyone who's listening and has an older version of code source, we ask them to contact your distributor and tell them that you're interested in this update, the newer version, and let's make it all happen. Let's start taking the orders right now. Like Phil said, we're just right around the corner from finalizing it, but let's start placing the orders right now so we can start putting this out. Let's get the codes in the hands where they belong.
Okay, awesome. So soon, like we'll have a part number and all that sort of thing and like a website listing where people can purchase this upgrade. And like, will there be a few different ones? Like if you currently are a code source user, there'll be like an upgrade. And then if you don't use code source, you can buy like the whole thing or like.
Yep. That's pretty much the model that we're going to follow. Existing users will purchase it as an upgrade. And then new users will buy the program as normal.
Okay. And will it be something that is like a download, or will it be like a thumb drive, or like, how does that work?
So we're pushing down the path of doing download. We have graduated from the CD version, and we're crossing over, passing the USB and going right to a download link. Obviously, we will have USBs for facilities that can't connect to the internet. So we will also provide that as an option, but it will not be the primary.
Okay. Very cool. And, one thing as we're talking that pops in my mind is for the longest time, we've sold these things where it's like you buy like 500 search online code packs or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gone. That's going to be gone. You're going to pay for the program, and you're going to get all the searches.
Okay.
So that was just something that was created a long time ago to rather than having a subscription basis. It was something that we tried at HPC a long time ago. It seemed to work at that time, but technology changes, advances, and so we're going to do it the right way this time.
Got you. Okay. And will it be like you buy it so beforehand, it would be like you buy like a CD-ROM, right? And you get it and then you use it forever, essentially. But when you wanted new updates, you would kind of have to purchase that. Is that the same model on how that's going to work?
I can chime in on the updates.
Jump in. I don't want to take over the whole 20 minutes. Go ahead.
We're both following really the same model, PJ. Generic code we've always been pretty easy to work with, where if you buy the program this year and you skip next year, and then 2 years from now you buy your update, the middle is filled in for you. So I think we've all agreed we're going to kind of follow that same model. Generic code comes with 3 unlock codes. So when you buy it, code source or generic code, you'll get 3 unlock codes. You can put it on up to 3 computers. Our programmer is going to be like the upper level tech support guy for both programs. So we'll both have in-house tech support. If something gets, if there's a very difficult issue, we'll turn it over to our programmer. Everything, we're going to kind of be paralleling each other with all of this stuff. So we've kind of all agreed that's the way to do it. We'll offer an online version, as will code source. It'll just say code source instead of G-code online. So again, HPC will be offering code source and an online version. And what's really neat about this whole thing is on a daily basis, we probably get 5 people send in an email with a new code or a new key blank or something that's not in the program. So, this gives us a great advantage because HPC will have the same thing happening. And so now we've got twice as much new information funneling in every day, to make the program better and cover more areas. When you start the program up, it's going to do its update. If there's an update available, every few weeks, we release an update with some new codes or just little tweaks to the program. So every couple of weeks, all that stuff will be kind of pushed into the program.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think Phil, I think you make a really good point with like people contacting you with that information, or Framon, other people contacting Hudson with that information, and being able to use it. Like I said, once again, it's just something that seems to be very beneficial for the people who use either one of those machines or softwares.
Right.
So, and the truth is, right, I mean, if you talk to a lot of people, a lot of locksmiths, wherever they might be, one of the struggles is always like, how many code programs do I have to buy to get the codes that I need, right? And both of you are actually helping to solve that problem in their benefit, which is really awesome.
Yeah. So PJ, I want to jump in on that whole idea of the very first time that I talked with Gina. So Gina's background is this manufacturing excellence, really concentration on quality. And Phil is a legend in locksmithing. Let's call him that. I want to see if I can get him to choke on his okay?
Almost. I think he almost got it.
There you go. So the idea of bringing them together, I just play the eye candy here. So the deal here is our ultimate goal. The direction we're facing it is what makes it the absolute easiest for the locksmith. That's all that it comes down to. Every single time we have a question that says, well, what about this? We ask ourselves, what makes it easiest for our end user, those locksmiths? It's let's merge the codes together. Let's make it quicker for them to find the codes. Let's make it quicker them to move the codes from their program to the key cutting machine. Everything is centralized about making it easier for them to do their job.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really cool. All right, well, hey, let's get to a few questions. And then, I know everyone's essentially on Eastern time, am I right? So it's a little later over there. So thank you all for being here right now. So here, let's hop up here. Let's look at it. Let's see. Strausser's Mobile Locksmith says, I got the G code with my Framon 2 machine. Will it be updated or will I need to buy an update?
So that will depend on what version you have. So we do one major release every year, normally around April, and CodeSource will follow the same pattern. Yep. So right now we just introduced 25 in April. So for the entire year, any updates that we have that I was just talking about, when you start your program, it'll ask if you want to download an update. Once we release version 26 next year, that functionality ends in 25. If you don't want to buy an update, you have what you have in version 25. Program will still continue to run. We'll still continue to support it for 4 years. And then at that point, if you want to buy an update, then you would get 26, and then you would start getting more updates during the year.
That's awesome.
And if you want to skip a year, that's fine too. But as I said, we go back 4 years on tech support, just with all the changes in operating systems, and we can't support version 8 anymore when we're on 25. So we set a cap on that. We make the downloads available for 4 years. We'll help you get the earlier versions running. But beyond that, we don't offer any tech support after 4 years.
Yeah. And I think, 4 years is obviously really generous, I think. And on top of that, one of the biggest things that I think people who currently use generic code and those who use CodeSource will really enjoy is that, at the end of the year and a new update comes out, but you find yourself not needing it. I mean, you don't have to buy it. And when you do find yourself then needing it, maybe it's the year after or what have you, you can buy it, you can upgrade it without a penalty, right? Yep. And that's one of the best things out there because, some people don't need to, stay up to the most up to date, of course, we all sell things here and we like selling as much as we possibly can. but it is at the same time really nice. I think it's just another point that Hudson and Framon together are actually acting in the user's best interest, which is so rare, honestly, and especially with software, so that's good.
Actually, can I speak on that really quickly? So I think the first year that I was attending trade shows, one, I was a deer in headlights, and two, I kept hearing software. Your software is 10 years old. What's going on? And again, looking and seeking partnerships has been a priority of mine while joining Hudson Lock. So whatever path we need to go down, I'll look for the best partnership, the experts in the field. And, in that case, it was Phil and Framon of, being able to partner with someone that understands the industry, again, really working together to provide a solution to the locksmiths, right? With the locksmiths is the sole focus of what we're doing. So really exciting, super excited to be able to bring this, partnership, dust off these previous plans and really make it happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic. And I think we can see in the comments here as well that a lot of people are really enjoying this news. Let's see here. NY Locksmith does go and says, this is cool. Right now I have generic code and code source, the PC version and the online. Very cool. Let me see here. So I wonder which one to go with Framon Phil. Go ahead and offer an upgrade version as well.
Well, our version is always upgraded. I mean, ours is the basis of this whole, we're basically taking our program and putting a code source face on it. When we first discussed doing this, it was like, okay, we have to change the colors, we have to change the screens so it's not obvious. And then we just got to a point where it's like, why try and hide it? Let's just make it known to everybody that we're working together, and we're still competitors. I mean, I'm still selling number 2s and they're still selling 1200s, and we're not giving up anything to each other in terms of that. But we want to work together on the code program, and it's great for everybody, from our customers to just to the way we both work on the software. So
absolutely. That's cool. Yeah. So NY says he still has the CD version. So I have to ask,
it might be worth something.
Yes, like when you use the CD, like I don't even have like one of those adapters nowadays. Like at first, you'd get the little USB adapter. I don't even have that anymore. So I don't
I just bought an external CD-ROM to be able to see what the experience was like for someone that buys it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
When we first started working on this, they sent me a CD version of CodeSource, and I have one computer out of about 12 that has a CD drive. So I was able to locate one. So
very nice.
I think it's also important to mention the fact, I want to build on what Phil just said. What we're trying to do is keep the interface of both programs very similar. So if you do find yourself using one or the other, let's say you own Framon's the generic code, and then you are sitting in front of code source, the interface is going to be the same, because the idea is we don't want it to make it difficult for somebody to jump from one program to the other. I would advise them, everyone now can finally get to a point of just choosing one. You don't have to own both pieces of software. That's the big piece of news, but they will operate the same with the same database.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Iceman003 says, so if my hospital buys code source in 2 to 3 months, will it be the new version?
Yes.
Yes.
It's better.
Yeah. Yes, it will. It will.
Oh man, let's see here. Let me keep scrolling through here. Little technical question. I don't know if we can answer this. Brian Faust, how is it going? He says, well, Subaru Code Series 32,000 to 38,099 2014 plus for Impreza. That's very specific, Brian. I
Wow.
like it. Be available for conversion to cuts.
No, not unless Subaru changes what they've done. They are keeping all the codes at a dealer level. It doesn't matter whose key machine you're using or whose code program. No one has them, and they have done an amazing job of keeping those secret for 11 years. They've also got a 90,000 series. We get these one at a time. So if you're a locksmith that's doing auto work, you work with your Subaru dealer, they will get you the code. They will get the customer the code, or whoever's working on the car. If you get us that paper, we will happily put the cuts in the program.
Heck yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
But it's an 8,000, there's 8,000 codes in the series. We probably right now have 600 codes. So it's going to be a long time before we have the whole series unless something changes.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Scott S says, still have my trustworthy number 2 I bought from Phil's dad, Frank.
Wow.
I still buy HPC, Sir James, as they are still the best Slim Jims.
All right. Excellent.
Very good.
That was a while ago. My dad retired in 1993. So
Wow.
Yeah, that
was
that's an old key machine.
Let's see. PAX Access Control says, keep in mind Windows 10 expires in October this year. Yeah. Let's see here. Well, perfect. I think that kind of brings us to the end of the questions. If I passed over one, I do apologize. I'm going to just put it in the comments anyways, or post it again. And after, when this is just a recording, I or someone will try to get to it for you. So, well, everybody, hey, Phil and Gina and Marty, thank you so much for coming on and talking about this. It's a great, awesome announcement, and it really benefits all of the users of Framon and Hudson products. So congrats on such a awesome thing to do. It's really refreshing, to be honest. You know, like, it's like, oh, we're going to have something that has more codes, more accessible, and they're not going to force you to upgrade every year if it doesn't really work for your business. So that's really cool. Thank you for putting everyone, all the users first on this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, BJ.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So I don't know if anyone has any final thoughts or words that you would like to say. And then we'll go ahead and we'll get on to the LockBoss winners this week.
I would just say I've visited Hudson. There was a few years there when there was different leadership at HPC, but Gina has been amazing to work with. She's done a great job. She doesn't act like she understands something when she doesn't. She's still new to the industry, but she's done an amazing job with just what I would say turning things around there. And bringing Marty along. Marty, I've known Marty for years, and we've always had a lot of fun working together. At one time, Marty was the only person at HPC I think I could talk to. Well, Alan was always good too, but there was always a little bit of a dirty eye if I came strolling by. But Marty's always been fantastic to work with. So Marty was really the backbone of putting all this together. And I remember sitting in a hotel room with you 5 or 6 years ago with Gail talking about this. So
exactly. That's right.
So yeah, it's great. It finally came around, and we're excited.
I'm really sad that Gail Johnson didn't get to see this part happen. Right?
Yeah,
that's absolutely true. Yep.
Yeah, that's really good. Well, yeah, Marty, great job. Great job making this thing happen.
Yeah, and to add, thank you, Phil. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, PJ, for the opportunity to share this great news today. I really want this to be a start of great things that Hudson Lock is open to doing. Any way that we can get feedback on products or ideas, please, send them my way. We really are looking to provide solutions to locksmiths, bring back old tools, and continue to just build off of the momentum that this program is really kicking off for us.
That's very cool. Yeah, very good. So yeah, and hey, and everybody watching, something else also really cool is Hudson and Framon have actually offered to give the prizes away this year for today's 5 lucky winners. So unless you guys want to announce it, we can just let it be a surprise what they end up getting. And
Surprise is good.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that.
Yes, let's do a surprise. So the 5 winners we're going to announce here in just a few moments. You're either going to get a prize from Hudson or Framon, and it's going to be fun. So make sure once you get it that you post photos so everybody else who's watching or who's watching with us live or afterwards, that you can see what everyone got. So let's make sure
PJ, as a last minute, PJ, you know what I'd like to do is I'm also going to say I will include these. I will include a copy of this book, the Locksmith Marketing Playbook, to all 5 of those winners as well.
Oh,
Great
sweet.
book.
Very good. Yeah, people really love that.
Excellent.
That is really cool. Well, perfect. So yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll let everybody go. And thank you for all being here. Have a wonderful evening. I know it's a lot later where you are than I am, so I appreciate you all being here. So thank you.
Thanks for having us, PJ.
We'll
Thank you.
talk to you all soon.
It's been great. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Good night.
All right, everybody. Well, hey, how cool is that, man? Not only are they doing something awesome together, but on top of that, they're going to be hooking you all up with the winners this week. So, oh, man, I think it's really cool. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's hop into today's lucky winners. Now, before we announce them, though, let's make sure that we all get on the same page on what to do if you win. You want to email us your shipping info to sales@CLKsupplies.com or call us at 800-848-6989 and we'll send your gifts soon. How to win. Comment on our videos with the hashtag LockBoss. Winners will be chosen from comments on the previous week's videos for our weekly giveaway. No purchase necessary. All right, here we are. Winner number 1 this week is Ryan Precision Lockworks. Congratulations. Winner number 2 is Klein Customs. Klein Customs, congratulations. Winner number 3 this week is the Keyman 12. Congratulations, Keyman. Here we go. Let's keep it going. Winner number 4 is Nick's Lock. Nick's Lock, congrats. Very cool. Very cool to see you winning. And last but not least, winner number 5 this week is Carl Lewis, 2207. Congratulations, Carl. Very, very cool. And of course, we have right now going on our LockBoss Rekey Recon Patch Hat. Get it for free with our orders over $321 and up. All you have to do is add it to your cart, and that's it. How cool is that? So, man, congrats to this week's lucky winners. Now, one other thing that I would like to do is make sure I invite you all to the after party. So I realized I think I forgot. I haven't seen Jimmy J on here tonight. I think he's at a baseball game. But yeah, there is an after party. Of course, here is the link for that. And yeah, very cool, everybody. Well, hey, what a great show. Great time, great people. Thank you all for being here. And man, good stuff, good stuff. Trying to read comments and talk at the same time. Never been good at it, all right? But anyways, well, hey, thank you all. Have a wonderful and safe Tuesday. And of course, we'll be back, same place, same time next week. Watch for that identity video coming out this Sunday. And, of course, we'll have a short coming out for you here in the next few days. So we'll just leave it at that. And what do I hear up there? It is. Julio put the music on. That means it's the end of the show. So if you want to come hang out in Discord, I'll be in there in just a little bit. If not, we'll see you next week. Y'all take care. Be safe.